Hey guys, this video is for those of you that missed day 2 in Unit 6. We spent a lot of time doing perpendicular lines, creating perpendicular lines, and using negative inverse slopes. So I want to show you how to find the negative inverse and how to graph perpendicular lines. It's a pretty important skill that we need to have, especially with some quadrilateral shapes coming up. So, for example, let's say I give you a slope of 2/3. Okay, that's a positive slope of up 2 and right 3. Now I could pick any point on this graph and plot it. So I'll just pick this point, 3, 2. From this, I'm going to graph a positive sloped line, which as I look at my graph from left to right, goes up. That's a positive slope. I'm going to go up 2, right 3 to build this line. So I'm counting up 2, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I've run out of graph paper. So I want to backtrack and create my line backwards. Some of you will inherently be able to do that. Others might want to think about slope. Equivalent slope to 2/3 is a negative 2 divided by a negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay? So this means I'm going to go down 2, left 3. So these two are equivalent numbers. They are both representing a positive 2/3. So now I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, 3. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. And now I have a line that has a slope of 2/3. So there's my line that has a positive slope of 2/3. Okay? If I want to create a perpendicular line through any of these points, anywhere on this line, then I have to have the negative inverse slope. Now, in order to find a negative inverse, it's also called a negative reciprocal. Reciprocal means to flip this fraction. If this is a positive, then my perpendicular slope has to be a negative. One negative sign makes the whole entire thing negative. Then what I do is I flip my fraction. It becomes 3/2. So my slope is negative 3/2, negative 3/2. This is equivalent to negative 3/2, which is also equivalent to 3/2. All three of these numbers are equal. They mean the exact same thing. Directions change based on where you put the negative symbol, but these will all create a negative sloped line, which should look like this on my graph. Okay? I can start at any point on this line and build a perpendicular line. I'm going to start with the point that I started with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count down 3, right 2 to begin with. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now if I want to build my line in the other direction, I have to backtrack in the opposite directions, which would mean up 3, left 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I've run out of graph, so I'm going to stop graphing there, and I'm going to connect my lines. They should form a right angle here. There should be 4 right angles that are formed by these inverse slopes, these negative inverse slopes. Now, in your calculator, in the Inspire, in order to find a negative inverse slope, what you can do is you take the negative of your slope and you raise it to the -1. So the negative inverse, this is the reciprocal. This is what's going to flip this fraction for us. If I do that correctly in the calculator, which I'll show you on this one, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do negative parenthesis 2/3 caret, which is under the control. Here's your caret button. So caret -1. If I hit enter, I should get my negative 3/2 there. Okay?